Lettuceheads, Goldie here with a quick rundown on today's episode. So we're doing a fun one. We're going to be doing a midweek release as an extra bonus episode because we got to talk with James Nicholas, fresh off his first win on the Korn Ferry Tour. It was a lot of fun. We talk all things that moment, and then we do a little bit of backtracking into his time at Yale and how he's progressed as a professional golfer, some things he's working on, some tips, some techniques. Got into some fun topics too about like merging the world of professional golf and YouTube golf. I know you're going to enjoy this one, so here we go. Let us heads, we are back with another edition of Please Let Us Golf, the podcast. And today it's a little bit unique because yours truly, Goldie, I'm going to be flying solo for the first time in a while, but have no fear. I'm bringing on a guest and we got a tight window. He's kind of coming live from, we're going to get into that in just a second. Today's guest is someone who has been grinding on the DP World Tour and Korn Ferry Tour since 2020. But not just that, he scaled his social media presence, really providing some of the most original and organic content, giving us insight into what the life of a professional golfer who's trying to make it really looks like. And oh, by the way, let's not bury the lead. He had his first professional win last week on the Korn Ferry Tour. And we might, Please Let Us Golf, have put together a nice little celebratory reel that kind of had some viral moments with it. So that might come up a little bit. So let us heads. Without further ado, please welcome to the podcast, Mr. James Nicholas. James, how are we doing?
Doing great. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
No, thank you, man. And I know you're coming for, you're getting lessons. Like you just won, and we're already grinding. You're out there getting
Yeah,
lessons with your coach. So no, I do appreciate it. We had a little scheduling snafu, but like I said, hey, we're going to shotgun this thing. We're going to get it done.
this is perfect for me. Like you said, I'm in the middle of like a million different things. I just got back from Colombia, went to Deer Valley for a trip with Icon Pass, one of my sponsors, and now I'm in between seeing my coaches, getting ready for the next couple events here in South America.
I do want to throw this out there selfishly. Of course, let's make it about us for a second. We scheduled this podcast before you won. Okay. So you can at least publicly back that up, that we weren't just like some Johnny come lately ask, oh, come on the pod, you won. We had those communications set prior to. So we know how to pick them is what I like to say.
100%. That's why I'm on this podcast right now. I've had like 1,000 requests after the W, but I try to honor my prior obligations with people who try to get me before the win. So I appreciate you guys, and thanks for making this happen such a late notice.
Yeah, no. So, normally I do start the podcast with some kind of like unexpected accolade to, build up the guest, but you kind of stole that bit from me by going to have to, win, the next week after we liaise. But if you could, look, I know you've been talking about it ad nauseum this week. You got a really cool YouTube video. I encourage everyone to go check out that details that experience and moment. But give us a little bit of with all that work and the grind since you got Korn Ferry Tour and DP World Tour. What was that day? What was that week? What was that moment like?
Yeah, I mean, two big quotes that I try to live by. One is hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, and the other one is if it were easy, everyone would do it. And that's something that my coach, my former hockey coach, Coach Luigi Olinto, he used to tell me every single day of my life, and words that I try to live by. And yeah, I try to share this journey with everybody because a lot of people, whether it's financially or personally or from like family issues, socially, whatever it might be, can't chase this journey, and a lot of people want to know what it's like. So I try to showcase all that. And a lot of it's the emotion that comes with, putting in all those hours of work and then finally getting that little carrot at the end. And again, like I'm not near where I want to get to. I want to be a PGA Tour winner. I want to be a major winner. I want to be a Ryder Cup winner. I want to be world number one. And this is that first little step that I need to take. So to break down, like I broke down in tears on 18 when I hit that approach shot in there to 13 feet. A lot of people don't really know that, but I got on my hands and knees and I was just like bawling. I'm like, a little kid that's just realized one of his dreams. And to have a 13 footer in the last hole of a tournament to win a golf tournament that's what you grew up doing on the in your backyards, whether it's on like pavement or at a golf course on the green. You're just like imagining yourself hitting that putt and making it. And so it was a surreal feeling, and I'm just so stoked for that last win.
So when you hit that putt, I mean, at what point in the trajectory of that line did you know that it was going in?
I mean, I was putting so well all week. I kind of knew it was going in before I even hit it.
That's man. I feel like I set you up to just say that, but what a mentality! No, but that's awesome, man. It was so fun to watch, and then obviously selfishly had a vested interest because I'm sitting there like, man, we just talked a few days ago or exchanged some messages, and I'm sitting there like tracking and refreshing and pulling it up. It was so sick, dude. So super
Yeah.
congrats. But I could stay on that part. It's going to come up a million times, but I do want to quickly hit. So we threw out a reel. Just fun, some YouTube golf nonsense. Like, look, I consume some YouTube golf because it's kind of necessary to for what we do to kind of be in the up and the know of what's going on.
Hmm.
So I encourage everyone to go check that out. You posted one, posted it from your page. We did as well. But I do want to ask you real quick about the YouTube golf kind of lexicon because you've entered it of doing some like pro v pro stuff and really scaling a really high level product. I assume you just take that all as like it's just funny, right? It's just like trolling, kind of clickbaity of just getting the emotions going. Do you think it actually bothered Wesley Bryan at all that like that got so much traction, or are you guys close personally that you guys are just going to go do a match anyways?
A little bit of context for this segment, if you haven't been following James on social media, the reel that we put together has now gotten over 1 million views between Instagram and TikTok, and it came from a recent YouTube video where Wesley Bryan went out of his way to kind of throw James's name out there and under the bus a little bit, but we put it together as part of a larger reel. The second half of it gets pretty funny how we edited it in, but just so you have the context of what we're talking about, here it is.
Like, why in the world would he give you 6 shots?
I got beat by 9 by Brad.
Yeah, but I would say Brad is substantially better than James Nicklaus, and that is not a slight on James Nicklaus at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe we should keep that all behind closed doors and see. Like, I may or may not have been talking to Wesley and Brad about setting up a little 1v1v1 match, and I think I will say this: like creating this drama in the ether out there, right, is just great for YouTube golf. That's what gets people going. That's what gets people watching videos. So I don't think there's no bad blood. There's no bad blood. Like again, when Wesley said that and said it wasn't a slight, it definitely was a slight. But again, he's allowed to say that. People are allowed to have their opinions. And Brad's been playing some unbelievable golf. There's nothing. There's no doubting that. But I do think that YouTube golf and professional golf are two entirely different things. And again, I played Evan Thompson in a video and he beat me fair and square. Like I played, all these guys can play golf and anybody can get hot on any given day. So we'll see. We'll have to play a match and see who comes out on top.
Yeah, so that is kind of where I was going with it of like, yeah, no one's doubting how good Brad is at golf, but some of these YouTube golf guys, I'm not even really talking about Wesley. Obviously, he's got a pedigree as a PGA Tour winner and he's awesome, but
Yeah.
I think there is this big disconnect of how good it was for, quote, growing the game and getting this new audience in post 2020. I think there's still a massive disconnect of the levels there are of your good club, the guy that's good at your club. I'm one of those versus an elite
Mm,
amateur
mm.
versus a competitive professional versus an elite professional. And oh man, that's it. So it was kind of nice, to be honest, to be on the outside of that and just getting to throw a little grenade into the middle of it and seeing what happens. But yeah, looking forward. I can't wait I know that match is
Yeah.
probably going to happen now. It's going to be fun.
Exactly. Yeah, it'll be a good time.
Let's go back a step. We do like profiling the guest and making it about them. So you're our second Yale grad. Okay. We had Jihei Lee on a few months ago. We were talking about Sportsbox AI and all that good stuff. But and correct me if my research isn't right here. Before we get into the golf at Yale, ecology and evolutionary biology degree and a year of football. What's going on there?
Yeah, no. So two things. I come from a family of doctors, so I went into school wanted to be pre-med. That way, I could go to med school if I wanted to. So ecology or EE and B is what we used to call it. That was my major. Um, it was definitely so. There was two majors at Yale that kind of were pre-med. Like it was NCDB and EE and B, molecular and cellular developmental biology, and ecology and evolutionary biology. EE and B, the one I took, was definitely the easier one. But again, I had to take orgo and biochem and genetics and anatomy and all those hard classes. So it definitely wasn't easy. And then on the other side, the football, yeah, I was recruited to play football, hockey, and golf at Yale. Ended up deciding to play football and golf my freshman year, and then decided after my freshman year that I didn't like football as much as I wanted, or I was thought I was going to, and then committed to golf. And that's, there's obviously a lot more details in that, but that's the short story.
So what at what point at Yale though did the golf start taking off of like, okay, you're starting to see success? Was that junior year, senior year, or how did that progression kind of work?
Yeah, this is actually something that I haven't shared with anybody, so nobody's really heard this. But my junior year of college, I led the nation in scoring average. The first was it the fall of my junior year. So it was number one me. I was like 67.3 or 67.7, and then number two was Colin Morikawa, Victor Hovland, Matthew Wolf, and I have a screenshot of that I've just kind of kept in my back pocket because that's what motivates me. I'm like, wow, I could play some good golf here with guys who won major championships, who guys are world beaters. Why can't I do it? So I'm a long way from those guys. And again, well, I'm a long way, but I'm also not. Like the line is so small and so thin. So if I just keep on my trajectory, I hope that I can one day get up there and be playing against these guys. But yeah, that's when I knew that I've got what it takes, right? I can compete, maybe not consistently, but I know that my best is good enough. And then I, just kind of keep going from there.
So you said a couple of things there. So kind of transition post Yale. So you're gonna now you're a professional golfer. You're grinding, trying to get status, KFT, DP World Tour, etc. But just generally, like how how do you even keep that mental focus? Because you've had like progressive incremental improvement, right? And you just kind of said something that I hear like great players
Yeah.
say of like, I know my ceiling is really good, but I'm really trying to either improve that floor, or chase that consistency, to be week in, week out competitive. But what's been that focus for you that you've been able to return if seeing like, I guess it all can't just be the outcome of the event. What are a couple of those big things that you've been working on over the last couple years to reach that next level?
I just always said 1% better every day. In college, I tried to start a motivation group with my buddies. I texted all my buddies who were potentially going to turn pro after school, and I said, hey, I want to wake up at 4 a.m. every single day. I want to be at the golf course, or we had an indoor facility. So I want to be at the facility at 4:30, practice until 9:30 before class. So I can get 5 hours of practice in before class. And the first day I woke up for my alarm, I got to the indoor facility. Then the goal was to FaceTime everybody and make sure that everybody was there doing it kind of accountability partners, and not a single person was there. And I said, you know what, I guess I'm gonna have to do this journey on my own. I'm gonna have to work harder than anybody else. And then since that day, I've always said I'm gonna work harder than everybody. I'm gonna do what's right. Every decision I make is gonna get me to my goal or get me closer to my goal. And I just try to get 1% better every day. So like a day like today, I was up at 7, got to the course, played from 8 to 2, got a workout in from 2 to 3, hopped on this podcast from 3:30 to 4. After this, I'm gonna go see a coach. Then I'm gonna practice until dark. Then I'm gonna go home, eat right, go to sleep, get my 9+ hours of sleep a night, and do it all over again tomorrow. So just stacking days has been what's gotten me here and what's gonna keep me going forward.
So how do you maintain, because the Korn Ferry Tour schedule I know gets pretty jam packed. I think it's about to start, right, where you guys play
Hmm.
like 3 months in a row almost. So how do you take that on
Yep.
the road to have that level of commitment and focus without just like mentally and physically breaking down?
If it were easy, everyone would do it. And I do it by time management. So in my note sheet on my phone, I'll write down my schedule the night before. That way I know exactly what I need to do and what I'm going to do the next day. So today, if I looked at my schedule today, I already have tomorrow. I actually have this entire week planned, and that's literally every single minute of the week, like not leaving a gap for anything, not even leaving a gap for me to scroll or to do anything. So when I like time block like this, it makes my time management skills so good. So tomorrow is Monday, and again, this might be different from when we release this video, but tomorrow's Monday, and I have my entire day scheduled from the minute I wake up to the minute I put my head down. And one thing I'll say, I'm not a robot, right? I do schedule in time to like hang out with friends and to go to dinner and to this, but I make sure that I give it ample time. That way I never run into the work that I'm actually doing.
No, okay. No, that's fair. And so let me clean up a question I was trying to ask earlier on a more technical basis of like actual golf improvement. Has there been, and it might not be, but has there been like one thing? Has there been a speed gain and an accuracy focus? Is it a data golf thing, of course, management, or I'm sure there's a holistic approach, but has there been one thing that's really resulted in a better improvement at the professional level, leading to a win?
Yeah, I would say no. And I think that everybody's looking for the magic pill, the magic bullet, and it's not. Like I talked to Luke Donald about what got him to world number one, and his answer was, I just figured out what I was good at and I got better at it. It wasn't finding his weaknesses and making them better. Like he dove into his strengths. And for me, I will say, like I worked with Jim and John McClain on my full swing, and I've really gotten that to a point where I feel like I can be a little bit more consistent. So for me, like my T-ball maybe is like that thing. But again, I haven't gotten to a point where I'm super confident in it. And that's like the best thing in my part of my game now. So if I can get there, then yes, that would be the thing. But right now it's just been doing what I do well and just continuing to hammer it home and get better at it every day.
So is golf still fun? Like, are you able to still enjoy it? I mean, I've seen family
Are you
videos
kidding
and
me?
stuff you post on, so you still love it. Okay, yeah, that's my fear point of everybody is
I
like
wouldn't
because
be.
it is a
I'll tell you this. I have a Yale. I have a degree a college and evolutionary degree at Yale. I could be making a lot more money doing something else instead of putting myself doing something that I don't like. Right? Like I have to love golf in order to do it and continue to do it. And that's what I do. I love it. I love sharing my journey with people. I love doing the YouTube stuff and the Instagram and the TikTok and kind of showcasing my journey. And I'm able to touch way more lives that way and inspire way more people than maybe sitting behind a desk and making more money. And sure, that might be like some people's goal, but for me, the goal in life isn't to make money. It's to really enjoy your time and inspire other people.
and so it's kind of merging into a little bit of another category of questions I wanted to get into in the social world, but maybe you answered it by your expertise in time management, but how are you pulling off the social media? Do you have help? Do you have a team around you? Because you're churning out a lot of content and a lot of it now is scaling into more higher level content. So obviously I know there's
Hmm.
videography and production for a YouTube video, but even the grind of just like posting TikTok and Instagram short form stuff, how's that working into the into the daily schedule?
Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that. So, in terms of short form, I do everything short form on my own. And I've been doing that since I was about 11 years old. I've been creating videos on iMovie and then Final Cut Pro and then Adobe Premiere and After Effects. And I still do that. I'm looking to hire and build out a team that will do all the short form as well. I have a team now that's doing all the long form and also some teaser videos for the long form. That's Gary and Nick. And, Gary's been the OG and Nick has just come on and started helping out with the team. So it's been incredible to have those two guys do all the YouTube stuff. And again, I put my brain into it and I help, direct it and pick the right guys and pick the videos. But Gary and Nick deserve all the credit for the YouTube and everything you guys see. They've been crushing it and have been absolute, wonder to have on my team.
So, okay, that kind of went up to my follow up. So, you envision your social presence and all that to only become a bigger part of what you're doing. You're scaling like an actual little mini media empire there, it sounds like.
Yeah, exactly, right. And I think the thing with the PGA Tour is that we've been pushing off this YouTube, off this social media stuff, and like not accepting it. And now the fact that all these YouTubers are making more money than PGA Tour players and have grown the game more than maybe the PGA Tour has, and maybe have more views that on their average video than the PGA Tour does on a weekend, like we need to lean into that. And I am going to try to do my best at showcasing pro golf high. It's the highest level. There's nothing higher than the PGA Tour. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you think. I don't care if you think that all these YouTubers are great. It's like there is no better player on the planet than Scotty Scheffler. Where does he play? The PGA Tour. There's no better players than Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth and Akshay, Max Grazerman, like Chris Gotterup, who I grew up with. Like there's so many great, talented players on the PGA Tour, but they're not showcased maybe in the same way that these YouTubers are. They're not given the same personality. They're not being able to show their own personality. So I'm trying to help showcase that and bridge the gap between the two while playing as high level golf as I can.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and while trying to be a competitive high level golfer, it's a lot. Yeah, that's an interesting little subtopic of the PGA Tour, and I second everything you say. It's obvious, like that's the premium golf product and premium golf caliber that there is and will be. But yeah, they've struggled with it, right? Of even just social media things of like, I get it, I don't know contracts, da 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 da, but they're pretty much like the only remaining major professional golf league that doesn't want their stuff shared, right? Like they're going to DCMA everybody who uses a clip and all that. And I can understand to a degree, but it's like I've always said, like, if Ann Edwards is on a fast break and dunks over 3 people, you think the NBA doesn't want 150,000 accounts with 10,000, 100,000, a million followers clipping it and talking about it and engaging? So I think there's still like they've started that shift to where they've been a little more accepting of like the general ecosphere that they can't control to be involved. I think that's a huge step for them, though, if they really want to merge those two worlds. And then, like you said, with the YouTube golf, I haven't. I get it. It's a fine line. The integrity of current events and structure. They've tried the creator classic stuff, and I like breaking the fourth wall. You're going to get an edit cut in the middle of this. You're going to say, what's happening if you're viewing it? James looks like he's now outside. We had a little technology snafu, but I think I was finishing saying the PGA Tour's tried things like the creator classic and trying to invite people in. And I still don't think they've quite figured out how to integrate YouTubers into an event to make it meaningful. And I would even go as far to say things like the programs, like Pebble Beach, that's going on right now as we're talking, of like, if you're going to have it, like lean into it a little bit. Like there's no real coverage of it. You can't really see the scores. You don't know what's going on. You can't see who the net sandbagger is. So I just, any thoughts on that of how the PGA Tour could maybe take a big step in kind of merging those two worlds a little more effectively?
It's funny that you say that because I actually have a meeting on Wednesday with the PGA Tour. I'm a part of the Korn Ferry Tour player, so this has been my goal this year, is to try to figure out that bridge. So we're gonna run through some ideas and figure out what works and what doesn't. But I do think, like you said, like Grant Horvat was playing in the Amex in the Pro Am, and there wasn't any coverage of him. Blades Brown, 18 years old, was also making a run at the tournament. Wasn't much coverage of him. Where and I don't know the ins and outs of the tour. Hopefully I will, but I'm gonna talk to them and be like, hey guys, there's way more than you and I know. And there's a lot of regulations and rules that they need to follow in terms of TV coverage deals and media rights. And it's easy to sit here and be like, why can't they just do this and do that? They are open to changing and open to creating a better system. And I think that this year we'll see a lot of better tweaks come because of it.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, and I would say the only thing I would, in your meetings over the next couple of years, get it, media rights, da, da, da,
Yeah.
da. But every other major sports league has figured out how to have some flexibility in that. So I would encourage that. And then maybe even on top of that like I could see the counter being like, well, we don't want to give up main coverage time to these, alternative golfers or, just chasing a story. But there's probably some streaming type of capability that it doesn't have to be as refined on the production side. Maybe it's a live YouTube stream of Grant Horvat's in the field. You can watch every shot of Grant Horvat. I know that's another thing, is half of that's Grant Horvat, because then there has to be a negotiation of him and his channel and what their obligations are now.
Yeah.
That's the dirty secret of YouTube golf, though, James, is like, it's not as like just organic and fun as everyone thinks. Like, it is big money now. So there's going to be natural constraints
Business
with that. It's big business too. Not just like, it's just, it's not the days of good just throwing out a couple of videos. Like, it's massive.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that there's a happy medium. And I think the tour does use as an excuse sometimes, like the media rights and whatnot. So we're going to work through it and we're going to try to see if we can make something better. Because I do think that there is a way, like maybe making a YouTube live video with Grant Horvat, having one guy with a camera following him around. Like, I get it. But again, like Golf Channel or NBC or somebody does own those rights, maybe a way where they can be the ones broadcasting it and getting the views and the monetization of it. So figuring out a way to do it would be cool.
Yeah, that's it. It's like anything else in the world. There's a solution. Just got to get in the room and solve some problems, right?
Yeah,
But no, that is
yeah,
cool. I appreciate.
exactly. I think it'd be better for the viewers, for the fans.
Oh, for sure. And I do appreciate your insights on that because you're like really, truly one of the few people that are in the middle of both of those worlds. So no, I appreciate that.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
I do want to say while we're running up on our time, so Jones. So you're a Jones athlete. I think you've been a Jones athlete for a couple years. We love Jones. So one of our long-standing bits is we have something called the slam bag. It's not just a Jones carry bag. It could be any carry bag. We don't want to, we don't want to have any legal issues with your friends at Jones, but we got the slam bag. So we got a lot of bits associated with that of out there and all that. And then also I got a kid named Jones. So there's a lot of Jones hats running around my house because we just, when you got a kid, you go that. I remember liaising with them. I was like, I need some more kids stuff, guys, because I got to throw it on there. Now, the other kid's name's Brooks. So go figure if I'm a golf family. He gets a little jealous though sometimes, like, where's my like branded hat?
Yeah,
So
with
he
my name
just
on
gets,
it.
yes, but he gets all the Please Let Us Golf merch. So the Jones doesn't get any of that. He just gets Jones hats. So it works out. So yeah, that was just not a question, just an opportunity to throw out some fun facts. What's next then? Outside of just grinding out the KFT schedule, we've talked about what's going on with social media. Anything big in the world of James or stuff you're really looking forward to in 2026 and beyond?
Playing my PGA Tour card, trying to do this exactly what I'm doing now, but on the PGA Tour to 2026, then into 2027.
So in PGA Tour card, there's two primary mechanisms for that now. It's top, is it 20 in KFT now, or is it 30 still? Well, they made that change. It's top 20 in KFT, right? And if not, then it's just traditional Q
top
school.
20.
Okay.
Top 5 at Q school.
In top 5 at Q school. What about that change from 30 to 20? What are the guys saying about that? Do they understand? Is there still frustrations on it?
I think there's frustrations. There's frustrations on field sizes. There's frustrations on, the PGA Tour going from 125 to 100. If a guy like Chris Goddard finished, I think 28th or 27th. A guy like what's his name? The long hitter from South Africa.
Oh,
Gosh,
Ryan
why am I
Fox.
blanking his name? Aldrich Potgeier.
Oh, Potgeier. Okay.
Aldrich Potgeier. He was like 29th on the Korn Ferry Tour list. So those guys wouldn't have got their PGA Tour cards, right? The guys that finished 21 to 30 are so talented and deserve to be in the PGA Tour. So, I mean, hopefully one day they can go back to 30. But right now, it's it's a business. It's not a nonprofit anymore. They're for profit, and they're trying to figure out the best product for the viewer, and that's what they think is best right now. So we'll see if it changes going forward.
Yeah, that's the catch-22 of more money, and like you said, going to a fully private model. I guess you'd say it's limited fields, limited opportunities, but then you do lose that part of how golf is. Like, not everybody is just a world beater out of the gates. Guys like yourself, that it's a 5, 7, 8 year progression of incrementally getting better, and it's just going to get harder and harder. So, but well, James, I know we're running up on a tight window, and you literally got a golf coach waiting for you, and you're a time management expert, and you got to go do YouTube videos, and I get it all. So I do want to say sincerely appreciate the time. Massive congratulations on the win. And hopefully as you get more wins, we'll talk to you again. But really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, well, we'll get back on here after my second time. That'd be a lot more sweet.
Yeah, they'll just get easier and easier. We'll get cocky with it then. So, but all right, James. So
I hope so.
we'll end it there. Well, I'll give you. Do you have a last word, or are you good? Anything else?
No, that's it. I appreciate you guys having me on. I appreciate that reel you made and you let me use on my TikTok, Instagram. That was it's done really, really well. So shout out to your was it you made the video, or was it the team at Please Let Us Golf, or who was it?
Yeah, no, it's all us. So there's just a couple of us, and we do it all. Yeah, we do it all. So, and we try to do it well.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, no, awesome, man. All right, so everyone go check out James. At this point, you probably are, but YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, go follow him on KFT and his journey to get his PGA Tour card. And lettuceheads, we will see you next week. And most importantly, stay plugged. Peace.